All right, so how do you stop being hungry all the time? This is the main problem that I had to solve in order to get lean. And I think that really that's the main cause of why you fail on diets is that you simply get hungry. So today I want to go over with you the things that I did to finally stop hunger. And this comes from a guy who has been 300 pounds. I understand what it's like to be fat. And I'm also a guy who has the fat genes of obesity. I have the ones that make you feel hungry all the time. I know what it's like to always be driven to have more food. And I've also realized that you can solve it. And there is a way to truly stop hunger. So today I'm going to share with you the 4 things I did in order to finally stop hunger and to get lean, okay? So the first thing that I did was I added a big nutrient-dense breakfast within 90 minutes of waking. When you do this, I have this big breakfast upon waking. You allow yourself to balance that cortisol response, and you also put in your hunger hormone signalings like leptin and ghrelin into order. And in addition, when you eat the right foods, you also slow gastric emptying, one of the principles of using Ozempic or any GLP-1 agonist. And beyond just all the hormones, you also have interactions with the brain chemistry and the food-driven pathways in order for you to keep eating food. When you have the breakfast, you allow that dopamine response of that food pleasure of craving to die down. So anytime in the day that you are faced with foods that you really don't want as part of your plan, you are allowed to say no to them because your brain has been optimized and your hunger hormone signals have been optimized as well. So an example of doing this is like this: 3 to 5 eggs with some Greek yogurt, a little bit of honey, a nice bowl of fruit, some coffee, and if you would like, have a glass of milk on the side of that. That is the very first thing I did, and now I want you to do that today. I want you to tomorrow to go have this big breakfast. I promise you that hunger will stop the entire day and you will really enjoy your time, okay? Now, the next thing seems like a small deal, but it's not. This one change is one of the most massive things that you can do in order to stop hunger. And I call it the 20 by 20 rule. It's very simple. You're going to take 20 minutes to eat and you're going to take 20 chews in between every bite that you have. By doing this and slowing down your eating, you allow your body to actually digest the food that you have. It allows all the hormones to catch up when you're eating it and makes it to where when you are going down for your next meal, you're not going to be as hungry and you can extend that period for a long time. And that's just so simple. I think a lot of times we rush so much to eat food because we're so hungry that we don't just slow down. So truly just slow down in your meal. Take 20 minutes. If you don't have time for 20 minutes in your meal, you got bigger problems than weight loss. Okay, so now that breakfast is in place and you've got the 20-20 by rule, what is something else we can do to stop hunger and truly like just banish this shit? What you can do is always pair protein and carbs together. You never want to have carbs alone. This is something I tell people all the time, that if you're having a sugar or a giant carb meal or something, that you want to pair it with protein. I'm a huge believer in carbohydrates. I believe sugar is good for you. I'm going to tell you that to eat sugar, but I'm never going to tell you to just eat it alone. So anytime that you're having a meal, let's do this. Let's say that you're going to have a big glass of orange juice and you're going to have maybe some Greek yogurt or something. What I'd recommend is to eat that Greek yogurt first. Now, after that, start slamming the juice and the carbohydrate. Now, another thing that nobody really talks about is the fact of having a nutrient-dense diet. We try to solve hunger just by managing our calorie intake or doing the 20 by 20 rule and the big breakfast. That really matters. That's important. But if you don't have a nutrient-dense diet and when you're getting all of your nutrient needs met, your body's always going to be missing something. And you think about that. You're hungry because you're missing something. You're missing energy. You're missing minerals, vitamins, nutrients that your body needs in order to operate. And if you start eating a very nutrient-dense diet in which you're eating a ton of whole foods from eating really the high energy diet model down below, go ahead and download that. That's the diet that I'm talking about you need to eat. And you allow your body to get all of the nutrients met. And if your body has no other needs, does it need to be hungry all the time? No. So have a very nutrient dense diet and you will stop thinking that your body needs to have something else to eat. Now, the last thing that I did to finally banish hunger is so counterintuitive. You're going to be like, what the hell have I been doing with my life for this long? So in essence, what I did is I stopped being in extended calorie deficits. For years, I was trying to always lose weight, trying to always diet, constantly reducing my calories from 2,500 to 2,200 to 2,000. And I would do this beyond the standard 3 to 4 months. I was doing this for 6 to 8 months at a time. By doing that, you are constantly in the stressed out state to where your cells are not getting their energy demands met. And think about this. Why do you need food? To meet energy demands. You need nutrients in your body to fuel and to live your life. If you're never meeting your demands, your body's going to keep telling you to always be hungry. It's going to say you always need to eat food so it can meet energy demands. Now, what I did was that I stopped dieting and I increased my calories. I increased how much food I eat every single day. When you start meeting those demands, it allows those hunger hormones to stop firing all the time and to rebalance themselves to be natural. And as a result, long term, all right, this seems so counterintuitive. If you increase your calories and you stop having those cravings to where you're eating this ton of junk food or eating all the time being super hungry, you naturally eat less as a result of doing that because you've met your energy demands. You will lose body fat over the long term by just simply eating better food and by simply getting your demands met. So that's it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any other hunger hacks or any hunger little things, put them down below. All right. Let us know. Solve hunger for good. I'll see you in the next video and make sure to keep getting them gains.